Hey guys, just want to give you a quick overview of how to use the different node property modulators inside Alchemy. I've made this very simple patch, which is 3 oscillators, but it's using lots of node properties. It sounds like this. So you can hear sort of more notes than that you can actually see, and that's for a couple of reasons. So first, if we just solo oscillator A, or source A rather, you can see that the volume is assigned to a little bit of randomness, so that doesn't, you're probably not even hearing that effect. It has a new AHDSR with a slow attack. Also not that spectacular, but here we have something interesting on the coarse tuning. There's a flip-flop modulator, and if you go to the node properties, here you find these flip-flop options, and we have 2 of them. And the first one will it will change it will flip the amount of modulation for every other node, and the flip-flop 2 will do that for every 2 nodes. So and I shouldn't load that one there. So if I have this one, and I'll just quickly make a new MIDI region, you can hear, or you should be able to hear, that it switches for every note, and it goes, in this case, up an octave. And you can see that because that little white dot is showing that modulation. So that's for the normal flip-flop. Then we have 2. Pretty straightforward. So I use those to create some variation and just to get some new ideas. I've used lots of velocity, of course, so that's always a good thing. That's all for source A. And for source B, I'm using health, and health is the other important one. And health is basically the same as a node of MIDI message. It will when the node is off, it will flip back to the original state. So for example, let's start with just a fresh oscillator, which is D. Let's say I apply node property health to the tuning, and I give it a range of an octave. And I make these notes a little bit shorter. You can hear that at the node off, it goes down that octave again. So when it's held, it's at a octave up, and then on the release stage, it's gonna go back to the original state again. So if I go to my normal envelope and I'll make the release shorter, we don't really hear this effect because we hear this during the release stage. And of course you can do this for all sorts of stuff. You can also set it to the filter node property held, and then let it close or open the filter on node off. So now on node off, the filter opens actually, which is sort of interesting. And we can scale this through a mod map if we want, or we can scale this through another envelope if we want to get a little bit rid of that click. This one, for example. So we can get some pretty interesting stuff by just messing around with this. I really like it. That's for those 2 options. I use this the most. And we have a few other ones that are interesting. Random is always interesting. Polyphony, which scales the modulation depending on the amount of notes. If I play big chords, for example, the sound is often going to be louder. So if I have a patch or a melody that has chords and single notes, you can apply the polyphony to the amp, and then on those chords it's gonna reduce the volume or the gain on the amp a little bit so that it still sounds consistent. Key follow, we have some gliding key follows, all good stuff. So definitely check these out. It's great for getting some new ideas. All right. Hope that helps a little bit in understanding this awesome synth. I'll play you this melody on while I'm fading out the video. See you guys next video.